What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up with the Joneses. 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 What's up, beautiful people, to another episode of the podcast, great people, which I am also excited to talk to you today in this episode, largely because I have an announcement on the end of this here episode that you want to make sure you stick to. However, I want to talk our way to that grand announcement, okay? So what you all have been seeing on this here podcast is an evolution of a Christian, of a believer, of a person that is listening and following the voice of God, right? And so if we were to start in the beginning of this podcast, it started off with us talking about destiny, of us giving encouraging words, right? And doing videos in that way. We had the affirmations that we were doing on Mondays, I believe, and we were just pushing out and pumping out content that was motivating, uplifting, encouraging, and inspirational, with the direct benefit of those who were hearing it should be motivated to pursue their destiny, because the Joneses believe, which is why we even say, like, don't keep up with the Joneses. We say that because not only because it's like a phrase, a catchy phrase, but we also believe that it's the way that people should live life, being that everybody has a specific purpose, a specific plan, therefore a specific destiny that we are all here to fulfill. So we shouldn't live life, we as in anybody listening, right? We should not be living life in a way that's trying to mimic somebody else, or in the shadow of somebody else, trying to say, like, if only I could be like them, then I would be more fulfilled. No, be all that you were created to be all that is within you to be. Follow your desires, pursue your passions, achieve your purpose, and therefore walk in your destiny, right? And so that's what we are all about as far as the Jones family. And so that's how it started, and we were talking about those things and giving tips and tricks on how to pursue your purpose, try to find your purpose, try to walk into those things. So those were the early episodes, and then we transitioned into conversations with Christians, and that was me and my brother, my homie, my great friend, a dear friend, Pastor O'Neill. And so that was very fun, where we were having conversations. We were having conversations, sharing our thoughts from a Christian perspective, and we were having fun. We were popping out like 2 or 3 videos a week, and just having fun, growing together. And that was doing things behind the scenes as well as in front of the camera. And so we were having fun from this room to another room in the house, and we were just pumping out content with the idea of sharing thoughts, right, from 1, a Christian perspective, but then 2, a Christian male perspective, and then 3, a father perspective, right? Because we are both males, we're both fathers, we're both Christians. And so we thought that it would be beneficial and encouraging for people to hear those topics that we discuss from those standpoints and through those filters. And so that's what Conversation with Christian was all about. And then we made the transition into Unapologetically Christians, okay? And that has been a fun journey on the tail end of Conversations with Christian. And that was all about the making a stake and putting a stamp into the ground to say that the Jones family are believers in Jesus, and this is the life that we live. And through that belief are the things that you see, yield the results that you see, allow for us to think the way we think and to do the way we do life. And so that is what that segment of time was all about, and that was fruitful and beneficial, right? And so we were and are doing the Bible readings on Mondays and other things like that. Crystal has some things that she's about to start doing as well, so again, stay on the lookout for those things. And so if I was to like take a big step back and to look at things, we could look at the various stages of the podcast as segments. That's right, segments, right? Because it was all a thing, right? And all those things have a place within the umbrella of the podcast. And so after looking at those transitions, and it was just so fun even to walk through those transitions, because as y'all know, we did name changes for all of them. except for Conversations with Christian, we didn't name change that one. Thanks to my wife. I was about to name change the podcast in that name. And so, like, that's just me, because when I'm doing a thing, I'm like all in, and I'm like, it needs to be from the top all the way to the bottom in this new light in which the new is. And so thanks to her, she was like, no, you can't do it that many times. So anyway, all that to say, all of those things happen to, and now to hindsight 2020, and this perspective to be segments. And it's like, segments of what, Ricky? Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are about to make the final. And I do mean the final, because I don't want people to get lost in the sauce as they are searching for the podcast, as they are sharing the podcast, as they are talking to people about the podcast, because the podcast is about to blow up, okay? Because we have a fresh vision, a renewed vision, a clarified vision on the things of which this Jones family will be about, the things that we will do, the things that we will pursue, and the things that God has for us. And it will all be up under the umbrella of Pursuits of Destiny. So the podcast will be making its final name change to Pursuit of Destiny Podcast, in which you will have segments of Conversation with Christians, of Unapologetically Christians, of and having talks about destiny, how to pursue destiny, business tips and things like that. My wife is phenomenal in that space, especially marketing and public relations. She is dynamite in that space. So we'll definitely have her on to talk about different tips, tricks, and ideas in which will help you to pursue the things that you are looking to pursue, as well as the things that are on the inside of you to do, as well as being able to talk about and discuss our move to Johannesburg, South Africa, in which that is the driving force behind the things that we will be doing in Johannesburg. We will be igniting some people, okay? We are unleashing the inner persons of people that we come in contact with. And I say it that way because people have things on the inside of them that they know that they should be doing, that they know that they have a desire to do. However, they have been sitting, stagnating on those things, right? Delay, procrastinate, stagnate on that gift on the inside of them. Well, God has sent us to Johannesburg, South Africa to ignite some people, to unleash some people, to activate some people, okay? And that is what we will be doing. We'll be talking about those things as well on the podcast, giving tips, giving tricks, giving ideas, giving new, fresh perspective on ways in which we can look at things, do things, and pursue the things that are on the inside of us to do. And so definitely subscribe if you haven't already done so. Follow, share, do all those things that you know are necessary if you are looking to activate the inner you, the actual purpose that you have on the inside of you to do. If you're ready to get started, go ahead and get on. Go ahead and latch on, go ahead and join the community. And if you know somebody else that has been sitting, stagnating on what's on the inside of them to do, let them know that the Joneses are here, that Pursuit of Destiny is the way, and we will be locked in, taking them along the journey, along the voyage to their successful life, okay? Because we all have the ability to be successful, to be prosperous, and to enjoy life. And we can do those things by pursuing our destiny, which ultimately is living out our purpose each and every day. So I'm so excited because I know it's something that Crystal and I are called, anointed, and appointed to do. And I'm excited to do it along with you and you being activated because of us pursuing our destiny. So with that being said, great people, I shared the announcement. We are making the final name change to this podcast, and we are going forward from here to beyond under the name of Pursuit of Destiny Podcast. So God is good, because God is with us throughout this whole journey. And even when we were trying to figure, well, I was trying to figure out where to put everything. Now I know, right? After talking to God, after hearing clearly, all of those segments were segments, right? However, the name is still the same, or going back to what it was, Pursuit of Destiny Podcast. So with that being said, great people, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Make sure you tap in, and tell a friend to do the same thing. Until then, great people, peace. Yeah.